Firstly, I'm going to give you some updates about some stuff that's been happening here on Sproatt Mountain. Firstly, thank you to everyone that's been riding and has stayed out of the watershed. We appreciate it. You're helping keep our riding zones open. Additionally, if you filed a ride report, and a lot of you have, thank you so much. If you haven't been filing ride reports and you've been riding on Sproatt, please do so. As far as I'm aware, I've only had one person going inside the watershed, and they were quickly brought out from one of our local riders and given a bit of education there. So kudos to everyone. You've been doing an amazing job. We have had a few developments in the last little bit, which I want to give you some updates about. So firstly, the working group of Sproatt has met with the government again, and we've been able to delay any installation of a gate at the trailhead until the end of February. Now, over the next 8 weeks, we are going to look at the amount of non-compliant users in the area and be able to look at the amount of compliant users. And we have an official number being 5% or less. So if we have less than 5% non-compliancy, by the time we get into the end of February, our riding area is going to stay ungated and completely open for us at this point in time. So definitely some good news coming up there. Our friends over at Canadian Wilderness have finally got a staff member in their booth. I'm with Adeline. She's the new booth attendant here at Sproatt. She's first day of work today, so when you guys come through, be super nice to her when she's going to tell you about the watershed. She's also going to hand you one of the little maps to be able to show you where to go and where not to go. So be nice, be safe, and be stoked on this chick. In our meeting with the government, we have actually been able to get a little bit of money from them to be able to progress a few other areas. So we're going to have a big sign going in at Hanging Lake. If you're not familiar with it, have a look on the downloadable map that we've told you about before. But the nice thing is that's where a lot of the ski touring community come up from the Callahan Valley and in towards Rainbow Lake. And there's been a lot of conflict there because some of the guides are referring back to the LRMP boundary, but we're only paying attention to the watershed boundary. So there's been some confliction there in the past. So something that we're moving forwards with is we're going to have a nice, great big sign at the lake there to show that that is a multi-use zone. So you are absolutely allowed to sled there, which is great to try and limit the amount of confrontation. We also have several hundred bamboo marker poles, which are actually going to work the entire length of the watershed. This is something the Sproatt Working Group has been able to have funded by the Rec Sites and Trails Department, and we're going to have those installed hopefully within the next couple of weeks. So it should make it a little bit easier about exactly where you can and where you can't ride. But if you're at all confused, just use the app on the phone, and it should be able to be pretty clear for you. We've been getting lots of ride reports, which has been fantastic, but part of that is we need to see some more video or photography documentation. So I'm going to show you a few examples here. What we're looking at is either down into Rainbow Lake or the Gin drainage. And what we want to see is essentially photos from the ridgeline looking down and submit that with your ride report. We can actually put you in the running to get one of a few gift cards from No Limits. There's been a few great big supporters of our cause, and they've thrown in some money, and we've said that the best way that we can give that back to the community is help you ride. So yeah, if you can do that, you can now go into to No Limits with a gift card, which will be drawn at the end of February, and buy yourself some sweet new gear. There's also been some support coming from one of our local riders that is also an author and a photographer. Matt Mallory has written an article about what we're experiencing here on Sproatt for Mountain Sledder. So I'll leave a link to that article in the comments below. So please have a look, check that out. It's pretty good, sums up exactly what's happening really, really well. And last but not least, we need to give out a few big thank yous. Alan Evans, Graham Rabage, and Ryan Nadeau. Behind the scenes, you guys have been doing a phenomenal amount of work between communicating with the government, all the different users within our group, as well as things like building a website, and Alan reaching out to some of our local businesses to be able to fundraise to get more people working on their ride reports as well. Thank you so much to everyone. Keep up the great work. Remember, be respectful, and we will be able to keep this riding area open. Thanks a lot, guys. Happy riding and stay safe.